everyone, my name is Brittany and today I will be taking you through some stretches that you can use if you have pronation distortion syndrome. So what this syndrome is when your knees internally rotate or they adduct towards each other and you have super pronated or flat feet. So oftentimes that will come with a lot of short and long muscles just from the tendency of overcompensation. So I've added that in the paper if you want to take a peek at that. But for this video, we're just going to focus on stretches. Unfortunately, I have lost my little tube band that I have, but I know they come in 3 different types. So there's a green, which you can get from any fitness store. The green is more of like the basic, easier distance, or it adds a little bit more resistance. And then there's an orange band, which is heavier, and then the red is super strong. So what I would suggest for a client with pronation distortion syndrome is to use the green tube. And what you'll do for the lateral tube walking, which is a dynamic stretch, you're going to bring it around your feet or around your ankles, slightly above so that your knees can be nice and together. And think about putting your feet onto railroad tracks. So you want your feet nice and parallel, toes pointing forward. With that being said, sorry if you can't really see me here, your feet are about hip width apart. That band is going to go across your legs and you're just going to walk side to side. So 10 repetitions of each, squeezing through the glutes. Now this is really important as you're doing this, that you keep your heart lifted, nice strong inner thigh connection, and making sure that the knees track over the toes. So again, about 10 repetitions on each side of that, and that would be a dynamic stretch called lateral tube walking. It's also found in our textbook on page 557. So after that, another option for somebody who may have pronation distortion syndrome is to do a multi-plantar lunge with a reach. So what this does is work into more multi-plantar movements instead of just frontal or sagittal plane. We're working through all different planes of motion, and you're also really focusing on stabilizing through the core, through the legs, through the glutes. Every bit of your lower body is working, but also your lumbopelvic hip complex has to work really well here. So to start that, you're going to stand up and you want to bring one foot forward. So opposite hand is going to reach down to that foot, opposite hand onto your hip. So the same leg that is stepping forward, you want that hand onto your hip. You're going to step into a lunge, reach down with your fingertips towards that foot, then come back up. And then with that, you're going to stretch to the side. Now this left hand is going to come to that right foot and back. And then you're going to step this back foot back into a lunge and bring it back up. So you want to do about 10 repetitions again per side for that. And through this multi-plantar lunge, it's really important that you're keeping your chest lifted. You have all of that neutral spine happening from your ears to your neck. So ears in line with your shoulders, shoulders in line with your hips, and hips in line with your ankles. So making sure that you have nice control of that core. So after those stretches, or that's your dynamic stretch. So that's something that you would add into your routine for the day with your client, especially if you have some of those sorts of movements coming up. I'm going to be showing you 2 static stretches that can be used for this pronation distortion disorder because I don't unfortunately have a SMR. So I don't have the myofascial self-release to show you what it would look like with a foam roller. So for the static stretches, I've picked 2 in total. I'm just going to bring the camera down so you can see. So for the first one, I'm just going to be showing you a seated figure 4 stretch. So this is really good for somebody, again, who might have tighter hips. Their knees internally rotate because they go flat foot. So what you can do is start the person bringing the opposite ankle on top of, so I'm bringing my right ankle on top of my left thigh. Now lifting up nice and tall through the heart, keeping your back neutral. This right here might be enough stretch for somebody, or you can slowly pull the heel in and then focus on really drawing that knee, the right knee, pressing it out. And you're going to feel a stretch all the way from the hips up through the quadriceps, through the hamstrings. Flexing your foot is going to protect your knee. Now you also have the option to lay down on your back, bring those hands behind that left thigh bone, and then gently pull that left knee in. Taking your right hand onto your right knee, you can start to press your right knee forward and draw that left knee in. So what this is doing is creating a nice active stretch. We want to keep both feet flexed. That's going to protect your knees. And also using your breath, so inhaling to find length, and then exhaling, contracting, pulling it in a little bit tighter. Only going to a point of tension. This shouldn't be painful. So about 20 to